Good morning and greetings from a rather damp Northumberland morning. It's the 26th of May, and today is the feast of St. Augustine. Yesterday I was talking about the Venerable Bede and the way in which his historical work about the history of the church and people gives us so many insights into our early Christian heritage. And he is one of the people who helps us to understand the figure we remember today. St. Augustine of Canterbury, regarded as the first Archbishop of Canterbury, and present archbishops are enthroned, are inaugurated, are installed on the chair of St. Augustine. So it's a long heritage. We're not quite sure when St. Augustine was born. He was born sometime in the 6th century, and by the 590s was the prior of a monastery in Rome. And he was chosen by Pope St. Gregory to lead a mission to England. The story is told that Gregory saw these fair-haired boys in the slave market in Rome and were told they were Angles, and the phrase is coined, not angles but angels. No one knows how true that is, but it's a wonderful story. And Augustine was sent with a group of 40 people to Kent, to the southeast of England, to be a missioner. He got a bit nervous, and his companions got a bit nervous as they travelled through Gaul, through France, and he did pop back to Rome for clarification and came back with a letter of encouragement for all his companions from the Pope. And so they came to Kent. And Ethelbert, the king, after a little bit of uncertainty, welcomed him and his companions, partly because Ethelbert's wife, Bertha, had been brought up as a Christian and had a European bishop as her chaplain. But they'd never engaged in any missionary work. And Augustine and his group of people began to work together to convert the king and to convert many of the leaders of the Kentish country. Remember, England was divided into a number of independent states at this time. And it became, I think, apparent in the southeast of England, in Kent and in the surrounding area, that Christianity was the way forward. But we have early evidence of Christianity already existing, because the king arranged a meeting between Augustine, who was by now a bishop, and Celtic bishops from the west and the northwest of the country. This meeting went very badly. Augustine handled it very badly and managed to put the backs up of all these Celtic bishops. And it took 60 years for any sort of reconciliation to take place between the Roman Church and the Celtic Church, which had already existed in our lands. But nevertheless, we have to acknowledge that Augustine's mission was one of those big factors in the evangelization of our country during the 7th century. He was there before Aidan and Cuthbert up here in the north, and although his influence was primarily in the south and the east of England, there is no doubt that he paid a valuable contribution. And the historic importance of Canterbury for the southern province comes from his time. And so we continue to pray for the church in all parts of our land, that we may be united in proclaiming Christ's love to all people. May God bless us in that today.